In this video, I'm rolling with Brian again. Brian is a brown belt at the academy. We got our brown belts together about a year and a half ago, close to a year and a half. And we both have a similar background. We started with no-gi and did no-gi for a couple of years at like an MMA gym. And then we switched to gi and more traditional training. So there I just hit him with the tripod sweep. We were laughing because obviously he knows that's coming. And I always say the sharpest tool is, they know it's coming and it's still going to cut right through. And I think that's a lot about, what being a black belt is. Your skill just cuts right through consistently, not once in a while. I have one thing very sharp there. So here I'm looking to break his posture. He's playing guard. I'm on my knees. He's playing butterfly guard. I'm kind of giving it to him because I want him to attempt a sweep. As you could see, I'm kind of leaning in. I want a sweep attempt. I know my arm is controlled. See, on my left side, I can just base out whenever I want. So if he was to sweep me to my left, I can base. And my right arm is free. So there he stood up, and I played into guard, a reversal, a sweep, whatever you want to call it. I have my butterfly hook in on one side, and my leg behind his back on the other. Now I'm looking to attack one side. As always, you could see I'm really looking for that kimura. And I'm doing it in an obvious way because I know if he doesn't respect it and I get that grip, I have a lot of options from there. So as you can see, I have his arm across his body, which allowed me to sweep him. I'm surprised he tried to continue the pass with his arm stretched across like that because it's a really tough position for the guard passer. So there he went to grab my head. I stopped him with my left arm, and then I cupped his shoulder to prevent further action. There I'm looking to clear that hook. So he had the hook on one leg, and I used my other leg to clear it. So I'm playing more of a pressure game off my knees, which really isn't my game. And I probably shouldn't be experimenting on a guy like Brian because in all honesty, he's very talented and has a lot of options. And there's a lot of jiu-jitsu that he knows that I don't at a higher level, like the truck, entries, slicers. And he's, 15 years younger. We're probably around the same weight. I always thought he was stronger than me, and then today after the roll, he said he thinks I'm getting stronger than him. Now, in my defense, I have been working out for the last 3 months, and I am getting stronger. The first thing I noticed is my body became more compact, so it tightened. Even though I didn't look, necessarily horrible, but your body's mush until you make it into something. And when you do, it becomes tighter. My clothing is fitting me looser, and I gained 2 pounds. So there he tried to spin into the truck or an entry like that. I hooked his leg. I knew it was coming. And that's the first time I successfully defended it. But again, this is why it's great to find somebody that's really on your level. You kind of spend... he passes me, I pass him, we kind of go back and forth, like Jonathan. So here he's looking to pull me into an arm drag, and I'm just basing back. I'm giving it to him. I'm putting my arm in that position. So here he has me in closed guard, and in all honesty, he's making a very typical mistake. He's not pulling me forward with his legs. There, he rode his guard up my back a little bit, and that's good, but you really got to pull forward with the legs at the same time that you're attacking the arms. It all has to happen at once. If you try to do them separately, as you could see, it's easy to defend. Closed guard, the advantage is that you can use your 4 limbs at once. You're at an advantage if you have someone in your closed guard. I had one of my instructors, and the guy was super talented. And one time I managed to pull him into my closed guard, and he headbutted me on purpose to teach me a lesson or something. But really how I seen it was he was pissed that I was able to get closed guard on him, which is unbelievably narcissistic and slightly deranged. But that's another story. So here, as you can see, he's trying to grab my head with his right arm, and then I have my left hand on his bicep. See, he's doing it again. So here he's sitting back for guard, and I'm just putting my knee right up the middle. You know, you could definitely learn from these as much as you can learn from anything. There, as you can see, I stripped that hook, and he knew I was going to pass. Here, I should switch my hip to get past his guard. In all honesty, I'm going a bit easy. I had the norovirus. I missed a week of training. And the first class back was tough. For my cardio, surprisingly. So here I'm using more of a pressure floating pass into him. I'm putting a lot of weight on him. I'm trying to tire him out. I love Adam Warchinski. I hope I'm saying his name right. The guy is, his game, he uses the leg staple like I use. He uses the butterfly guard the way I use, obviously. He's probably much better at it. But what he does that's great is with the butterfly guard, when his partner hollows out his hips and stands up, he grabs the belt and hits that sweep. And I don't think about that. So to me, that completes the circle of butterfly guard. Because if you know that, you're going to be able to sweep him from there with that, when he hollows out his hips. Me, when you hollow out the hips, I go for X guard or something else. But that ends the round. Look up Adam Warchinski if you haven't. He's winning everything. He uses a very pressure style, butterfly sweeps. He starts off slow and comes back. He's just really, I think he's definitely the next big thing. He's winning everything. So here, again, we're discussing a little bit. He's saying that he thinks I've gotten stronger. I'm thinking I'm not using a lot of strength. And then he made a good point. He said, when you're at the same level, you have to use strength because your technique just kind of bounces off each other. And I was like, yeah, and then you got to stuff a technique in using strength, or you can still stay with the technique. So maybe you'll use strength at times, and when you realize, wow, I'm really trying to power this, let me switch to something else and go back into that growth mode. Instead of just trying to slam in different positions, let's look for the technical answers. So we were just talking about that. So there's 4 other rounds with Brian. Please check them out. We always have a good rounds together. And if you find value in my content, you want to help support the channel, I'll put the link to my new rash guard. You can pick it up at X Marshall. The link is in the description. Anything you buy through that link, you could use code JITS50. You get 15% off. Plus, it helps the channel. Or you could just buy me a coffee. I noticed I have 2 buy me a coffee accounts. One, I don't know how, but it's been open for a couple of years. I never responded to anybody. I recently responded. Thank you all for those donations. I really appreciate it, and it keeps me motivated. So please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.